What's your biggest fear? Will you ever try to overcome it? My biggest fear is a certain animal, and nobody will ever understand why. So it's not spiders. It's not even a dangerous animal. Not at all. Perhaps it's even one of the least dangerous animals ever. I just can't stand the sight of looking at this creature. If I see a photo or video of it, I go crazy. If I see one in real life, I go out of my way to avoid it. I can't even look at it. This creature is just so ugly and disgusting. I have a huge phobia for it for some reason. I'm not even willing to say what it is before one of you sends me a picture of it. Good luck. My most profound fear: accidentally getting a spoiler for the final season of my favorite show before I can binge watch it on release weekend. As for overcoming it, I've started preparing by muting keywords on social media and avoiding the temptation to click on fan theories. A bit over the top, but can you blame me? There's no plot twist worth the horror of an unforeseen spoiler. My biggest fear is probably heights. I used to make plans to do stuff like bungee jumping and skydiving, but all I want to do now is just to enjoy some higher up rides. It doesn't really affect me day to day, and I prefer spinning rides over things like super tall roller coasters, so I'm fine if I never get over it. My biggest fear has always been failure, but I've come to realize that it's not the end result that defines us, but rather the courage to push forward despite the fear. So yes, I'm committed to overcoming it, one step at a time. After spending the past 2 years with the most severe illness I've ever experienced, my greatest fear is not living. Without your health, you have nothing. The rest of it doesn't matter then. I spend every day enjoying life, being seen as boring. I try to every day by bettering myself and engaging in new hobbies with an open mind. I do my best, but I sometimes worry that it won't be enough for some people. Then again, you can't please everyone. My biggest fear: accidentally signing up for a gym membership that I actually have to use. Overcome it. I'm still working on overcoming my fear of running out of pizza. So let's take this one step at a time. Being exposed publicly as incompetent, worthless, etc., in front of all my coworkers. I guess this stems from my 10-year-old imposter syndrome I've been fostering since grad school. My biggest fear is going bungee jumping and the cord snapping. I'm planning on bungee jumping the summer of the year I turn 40 to conquer the fear. 2 years to go. My biggest fear is being eaten alive. I don't know how to overcome that without actually experiencing it, and fuck if I ever want to experience that happen. Heights, and no. It's only super high, like more than for 5 stories. And if I'm on the edge of something directly. So not something that impacts me regularly. Something happening to my family. I had a childhood that messed me up, and I'm a bit overprotective. But a wife and therapist that keep me grounded. Dropping my car keys down a drain or serving up raw chicken. I guess I could try to overcome them, but probably easier to just live with it. Snakes. Regardless of if it is venomous or not. We are not meant to share space. Ever. Not even trying overcoming it. My biggest fear was coming out, and when I did, my biggest fear became reality. And now I'm like, fuck you world. Losing my girlfriend, be it through a breakup or death. I just intend on overcoming it by spending my life with her. To lose my job and not be able to find another. Or to find another job that doesn't allow me to see my family, never. Dying in pain from a long-term illness. I prefer going right ahead without even understanding what is happening. Turning into my mother. I don't really want to overcome this fear because it keeps me in line. Being alone, I don't mean being single. I mean having nobody around, like no friends or family. To be forgotten, like, if nobody remembers me, there's literally no reason for me to live. Outliving my child is my biggest fear. No, I will not overcome it. If she goes, I go. I actually did overcome my biggest fear already, and it was completely by accident. Living in mediocrity. It will probably happen anyway. And I'm trying to not do that. Childbirth. Going to do it at least once. Hopefully going to survive. Deep sea. And no, won't even try to overcome it. I'm a lamb person. I'll be afraid of you the day you find out what I'm afraid of. Stage fright. I don't think I can ever overcome that, tbh. The impact of automation on the workplace and society.